Hello! This is such a wave. My hand looks very large up there. Welcome to Types on Tuesday. I think this is part 2 of a video on how I ruined my wedding. Some more thoughts I have on high expectations and specifics about the day itself. So if you're interested, continue. If you're not interested, what are you interested in? Comment below. Do you like to golf? Hey!
Oh, hey.
Did we score?
No, not yet. Am I being that loud to where it's in there?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch back later, but it's amusing. It's fine.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't know you were doing a video.
I'm doing a video.
MollythePerson talks about things.
Yeah! I put pressure on this day not only being the best day of my life, but me looking the best that I've ever looked, because I think a lot of brides do that. They think they have to look the prettiest they ever looked in a a dress that's gonna wash you out. You know, instead, I think reframing it and seeing it as the bridal version of yourself. It's like Bridal Barbie. Like, Bridal Barbie isn't the prettiest Barbie. We might like, you know, a different outfit, like that pink floral top. You know, I'm going back to childhood if you dressed your Barbies. I was Bridal Molly. I wasn't the most beautiful Molly in the whole wide world that I'll ever be. That's too high of an expectation, and you can't control how your face will even look that day, which I kind of just thought that I could. I thought that I could look the best that I would ever look, and that I needed to, because these are pictures that are going to be on your mantle, you know, that you're going to hold near and dear forever. But how you look doesn't matter as much as the magazines will have you think. You have someone else doing your makeup, your face isn't going to look like it usually does. You're not going to be as familiar with your face and hair in such a different way, and it's not going to look like this this printout from a catalog that you hoped to look like this girl who looks totally different. Your hair might be a different texture, whatever else. So you're going to look beautiful, because you are beautiful, for your soul is. I'm getting a little like, wow, we're all so beautiful. But truly, the day is just about the magic of the union and committing to someone and saying, hey, I love you, and like, let's do this thing together. And that's what's beautiful. The pressure for the bride to be the prettiest in the whole frickin' world, that's just ridiculous. And of course I had, you know, a zit pop up like right around there, and a couple other things, and I was just not feeling my best self, and I let that affect me, and I was in my head, and I was wishing that I could have a minute to go fix certain things, and I didn't have that time or luxury, and I didn't need to have that time or luxury, because it wasn't about perfecting everything. That's just unnecessary, because it is what it is, and I did as much as I could up to that point to plan the day, and now it's just a matter of going with the flow. And I wonder how a lot of you might do that. So what is your advice for going with the flow? Comment below. We're gonna have like random comments like, I like to knit, from earlier's question, and then from now, I go with the flow like this. Because it's hard to consciously do that, especially when your personality is like driven to kind of notice what's going on and how you can kind of manipulate it to be going better. Manipulate it. I wish there were a positive word for manipulate, but you know what I mean. Positively make something better. So I had a wonderful time planning the wedding up to the point of the wedding itself. It was the anticipating of that future event. It was all fun, and it was all fun is an exaggeration, because there were parts that were tricky, such as the guest list. Picking, oh, if we invite them, then we should invite them, and you know how it goes. Those of you who do know how it goes. But the whole thing was, it was exciting, and it was just also, I didn't realize that I was underneath it. I was building pressure, 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 expectation up here for it to go perfect. Every time I was thinking through the timeline, every time that I was picturing it perfect, was setting the bar a little bit higher for myself. And that's not fair to myself or to those around me, because not everyone's gonna see it, the vision, the way that I see it, and it's not always gonna just flow. Throughout the day, find times to really notice certain things, like I'm gonna notice what everyone at that table's wearing, or I'm gonna notice 3 pink colors, 3 things that are pink, and like really that's a way to get yourself present and really see what's in front of you instead of what could have been or what could be going better, and how you can control it. It's hard when you're in it because you get stuck in that rut, and it's like you're in that mindset and it's hard to just snap out of it. But one way to do that is to practice certain mindfulness and to be more alert and aware of what's happening right then. And I will say that the moments that I enjoyed the most from the day were the moments that I did not plan and that I did not anticipate. It were certain times that Franco would pull me out of my head, and just I would be there with him, and I hadn't expected to be waiting under the staircase for us to go out. And certain little moments that I'm like, I was really, really there. The moments that I had planned and envisioned going a certain way, those were the moments that weren't as satisfying or gratifying. And they could have been too if I didn't build them up so high. I could have been more present with how the version that it was instead of the version that I wanted it to be or that it could have been. And I kind of mourned the loss of what could have been a little bit after it. And I eventually was able to snap out of it on the honeymoon and be more present, because nothing makes you present like travel. If you are stuck in a serious rut, going somewhere that you've never been will open you up to the now, and you start to notice things more in your environment. Some practical advice for brides would be, 1, make sure that you have a person to go to for questions if other people have questions that day, because otherwise they'll go to you and you already will have a lot to think about or to feel about. To have somebody to say, ask Kelly, just any questions, direct them to Kelly, and then that weight's off your shoulders. Because I didn't expect myself to get so overwhelmed by the amount of questions that were asked, but I did. I got very overwhelmed. Lost my... Another thing I would say is to think of the little things beforehand so you don't have to think of them during. For example, where are you going to put the cards? Who's going to take care of all the cards and presents you get? Where are they going to send them? Bring them to the hotel or bring them somewhere? Where the bouquet's going to go from the bridesmaids when you get to the reception? Like little things like that, just figuring them out beforehand and knowing that more things will come up. And again, refer to Kelly. Kelly will take care of it. Find a Kelly that you can trust. If looking beautiful is important to you, also make sure you have ample time to get ready and make sure that you feel comfortable with how you look. If you have someone doing your makeup or hair, maybe learning a thing or two about makeup and hair beforehand so that you can change and alter the look in a way that you feel more comfortable with before walking down the aisle. There are so many different looks you can have, and that can be overwhelming. Am I picking the right look, or is this gonna be good? And of course you want to look pretty, but if you don't, just be pretty present with your mate, because that's what's important. So with that, I hope you have a great day, and maybe it will be the best day of your life, but I wouldn't set it up to be, because that could be any day, And for me, it's usually the days that I don't plan. What you don't anticipate can happily surprise you. That sounds like a fortune that I read in a fortune cookie. I have not read that fortune though, but you have. That's my fortune for you. So, sorry there's not a cookie to go with it, but what you don't anticipate may happily surprise you. Enjoy this event. You are prepared. You as prepared as you could be right now, so take a deep breath and be there. Because where else are you gonna be? You can't physically be in the past or the present, so you might as well be right here. Alright guys, one last thought is that sometimes if you have like an existential crisis mid-event, I feel you, you're not alone. You might be in that moment. Not to make it worse. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button for more videos from your beloved. Him. Just kidding, they'll be from me. But he's pretty cute, isn't he? Or I think so.